recording our thing. And so with that, I'm going to start again introducing myself. As I said, my name is Bev. I am part of our camp director team with Girl Scouts of Alaska. And so this session is going to be talking about a lot about our camps. I'm going to start with some introductions, talk about kind of camp program as a whole, and then I will briefly talk about our community day camp and then go into Singing Hills and then Camp Toga Woods. And then at the end, if there are any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we can answer them at the end. Because I am presenting this on my computer here, I don't actually see the chat. So if you do have any questions as I go in, feel free to put them in the chat. And I also have Hillary on here, who is the Chief Mission Delivery Officer for Girl Scouts of Alaska, and she will interrupt me and let me know those questions to answer them at this time. But with that, introducing myself, as I said, my name is Bev. At camp, if your camper's been at camp before, she might know me as Cosmos. That is my camp name there. I have grown up as a camper, as a Girl Scout through my years in childhood. I went to my local Girl Scout camp, which was Camp Wanaka. And then I have been with Girl Scouts of Alaska over the past 2 years, directed all 3 of our camps and spent many times there. And so I will also have this contact information at the end of the slides here, but feel free to shoot us an email or give us a call if you think of any questions later. So quick introductions of our camp. We run a community day camp. This is a week of camp in different communities all over Southeast, South Central, and Southwest Alaska, serving girls in grades 2 to 6. We also have Camp Singing Hills, which is our local day camp. And we kindergarten through 12th grade. The older girls, 7th through 12th, can sign up to be a program aide. Monday through Friday, we offer bus services from Anchorage out to camp. And there is also some one-day sessions over the week of 4th of July. And then the third camp that we run is Camp Toga Woods, which is our sleepaway camp. It is for girls going into 2nd through 12th grade. And then most sessions are Sunday through Friday, and we have some that are 3, 4, 6, and then 13 days long. And as I go through this presentation, I will go into more details for all of these camps. But first, kind of thinking about the most important part is how to register for camp. At the top of this slide, I have that URL, but if you just go to our website and click camp, you will find it. And then you go in, we use a program called CampBrain, and you will log into it or create an account on that website. You'll choose the sessions of camp that you are interested in. You will choose them for each girl that you are signing up in your household. And then you will fill out the forms that are needed and then pay the non-refundable registration fees and any of the other fees like the bus or membership fees. Girls are required to be active members of Girl Scouts to come to camp. And so one of the things you might need to do is buy that membership fee. And then after you submit all that, you should receive a confirmation email. And then this is the way we'll be communicating with you guys. And if you registered that way for the session, you got that email with the information for it. We will have more forms for you guys to fill out closer to the summer. So just keep an eye on that email for more information about camp. Paying for camp. We understand that this is a really important thing for all girls to have an opportunity to, but there is different ways to be able to pay for camp. We do offer camperships, which is financial aid. These are limited, and they can be used to cover a portion or full amount of camp, not including the registration fees. To apply for a campership, you will get that when registering. One of the forms you'll fill out is about financial aid, and you will select that you are interested in a campership. Cookie dough is earned through fall product or cookie sales from this membership year. So the cookie sales that are going on right now are fall product that happened at the beginning of the school year. can be used towards camp, but it cannot be used for the registration fee, bus fees, membership fees, or the care package. And then cookie rewards. So this is a thing that we are offering this year, is if girls are have chosen to earn rewards and they get to the 500 package level, they can choose a week of day camp, or at the $1,000 package, they can choose 1 6-day session of sleepaway camp. To choose that, when you are registering, you will select for that price choice, you will select using cookie reward, and you will just pay the $75 registration fee. And to make sure cookie dough is used towards your camper's camp cost, you will also select in the financial aid section that you want the cookie dough applied, and we will automatically apply that. Safety at camp is one of the most important parts, emotional and physical safety of everyone at camp. We want girls to be able to take risks in a safe manner. We have staff, we do a bunch of training with all our staff. On the water, every camper is required to wear a life jacket if they're boating or swimming. No matter who they are, every camper and staff wears a life jacket. If they are swimming, we have a lifeguard, a certified lifeguard on watching. And then for boating, all of our staff get small craft certified. And then for our wilderness trips with our sleepaway camp, we have at least one person who is a wilderness first responder training or higher. And they also will carry a satellite communication device so that in case of emergency, they're able to reach out for help. Those are just a small part of the safety measures that we take at camp. There was more information about in the parent handbook that will be available in early April. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out about them. Girl Scouts and camp welcomes girls of every race, ethnicity, income, level, sexual orientation, and religion, and reflects a spectrum of gender identity. Girl Scout at our camp, we want to be able to accommodate everyone's needs. If your camper does have any special needs, please contact us early to discuss any concerns or additional actions that we might need to help make camp accessible to your camper. Common things we do is food allergies. If your camper has a food allergy, letting us know so that we can make sure the environment is safe for her, and including airborne allergies, or if there's physical, medical, or behavioral support that your camper will need. Also, if campers happen to be nervous or their parents are nervous, we can also help them feel more comfortable coming to camp. And that's one of the reasons this information session is here, is to try to help alleviate some of those nerves. Buddies is one thing we get asked a lot about at camp. You are welcome to bring a friend to camp, and I highly encourage that if your camper is slightly nervous, having them have a friend come to camp with them. They will make many friends at camp also. So when you are registering your camper, if there is a buddy that she has requested, you will put that on her registration. You can have one for Singing Hills, which is our day. You can have one for day camp and one for sleepaway camp. That buddy needs also to be signed up for the same session. And they should be of similar age. We are not able to guarantee buddies if they are of wider age apart. We do want to make our groups of similar ages. So this is when you are registering your camper, you can put that buddy in. If you find out later that there is a buddy in the session you would like, feel free to email us to let us know when we can update that application. So programming at camp is varied and diverse. It is all based around character development at its core. We are trying to build good girls, strong character in these girls in our communities. They'll have the opportunity to work on teamwork, social intelligence, independence, gratitude, by doing things like arts and crafts, outdoor skills, environmental education, and STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and math. This is not Not all girls will get to do every art and craft activity or every environmental education activity, but they all get to do parts of these activities, and they get to do a whole lot more while out at camp. So now we're going to start thinking about our day camps, which is both community camp and Singing Hills. Things to make sure to bring is make sure your camper has a backpack that can carry everything for that they are bringing with them, and also one that they can carry with them. They need closed-toed, sturdy shoes or boots. Extra socks and clothing can be handy in case they get wet if they're boating or if it's raining. Always having rain gear, bug spray, sunscreen, no matter the weather. A reusable water bottle that seals, and then lunch and snack. As I mentioned about food allergies, if there is going to be a food allergy at camp during the week session of your camper, we will be sending out an email letting you know if there is any food that is not allowed at camp that week. So a little bit about our community day camp. As I mentioned, it is for girls going 2nd to 6th grade. It's 1 week in different communities all over Alaska, and registration is required. We are looking for volunteers to be able to help support these communities. If you are in a community and interested in volunteering to help reach more campers, please contact us at camp@girlscoutsalaska.org, and we can work on setting you up as a volunteer. For community camp, our basic schedule is arrival. They do an activity, snack, activity, lunch, me time. Me time is, this time it's more of a relaxed time, kind of quiet time that girls have the chance to read a book or do just a kind of quiet activity on their own to relax and rest a little bit before we get back into the next activity, snack activity, and then departure. Food is not provided. This schedule will vary based on communities. Some communities might not have lunch together, some might go home. We will be communicating those specifics for each community on Rallyhood and in emails to those families. Community camp does a lot of different programs. These photos are just a sampling of them. They went tide pooling in the past, went to the library to learn sign language, helped out at the community garden, build structures, learned about bird beaks, and built pom-pom catapults. At community camp, these are hosted in a variety of locations, from local churches, rec centers, and parks and schools. There's parts that are inside and outside, and so making sure girls are prepared for all those weather types. These all look like beautiful sunny days. It's not always the case. And so making sure when girls are going to these camps, the campers are coming prepared for all sorts of activities, both inside and outside. That host location is the meeting space for camp, but sometimes they will go to other locations like to the library or the garden to be able to do stuff. They will be participating in environmental education activities, arts and crafts, STEM, outdoor skills, and they also work on a community service project. As a group, starting kind of that first or second day, they'll start planning it, and by Friday, they will be putting that into action for that community to give back. And I know that the center group at the garden they worked with the community garden as one of their service projects. So next is Camp Singing Hills, our day camp in Chugiak. I'm just gonna get started on going into it. So the basic schedule for Singing Hills. We have a drop-off location at the Lusek Library for the bus pickup, or to take the bus out to camp, and then the bus will be at Lusek Library, Baggage Middle School, and then drop off at camp. Girls will do activities, have snack, activities, lunch, me time. Again, that is that kind of rest period. Staff will often read a story, or kind of that calm, quiet time to help campers rejuvenate and get energy for the rest of the day. And then we have activity, snack, more activities, and then pick up at camp or Baggage Middle School and Lusek Library. Food and snack are not provided here. And the schedule will vary depending on the program selected, age of the camper, and group's needs. Sometimes an activity might span 2 blocks, or they'll do 2 activities in 1 block. Remember, these days are full of energy for these kids, so packing good, healthy snacks, and a lot of them, just to make sure your kid has the fuel for the full day. The first day of camp, campers will be dropped off at the bus stop that they signed up for, or out at Camp Singing Hills. They will get to meet their counselors and group mates. They'll get a tour of camp, make a group agreement, start making friends and having fun. And they also will help choose some of the activities that they'll be doing that week. Then we'll run through the week of activities. And then on that last day before pickup, campers will get a chance to have a group reflection. They'll get their camp t-shirt, work on cleaning up camp, and also visiting the camp trading post. And then they'll either get picked up at Camp Singing Hills or at one of the bus stops. A couple special things that happen out at Camp Singing Hills. During the week of 4th of July, so June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd, we have one-day sessions. We're going to have Girl Scout Ways, which is kind of the traditional Girl Scout camp experience. Aqua Adventures, which is going to be focused on all things water, and then Pathfinders, which is going to be outdoor skills and going on a hike. Each day we'll have different levels for each one of these programs. The exact date and level for each one will be found on our registration and in our camp catalog found on our website. For girls who are our older girls, the Pathfinder ones will actually go on a hike off-site. They will get bused to that hike and get to go on an adventure, practicing some of those outdoor skills that they learned earlier in that day. And these are all just one-day sessions. At Singing Hills, girls also go boating and hiking. While boating, in both of these activities, girls work on curiosity, friendship, willpower, and they will be either boating in Edmondson Lake or could be going on a hike around the lake at least once each week. Each session will have a chance to go on these at least once. We do also offer some specialty sessions out at Singing Hills. We have program aids. This is a leadership session for girls or campers going from 7th through 12th grade. This is a chance for them to start learning some of those leaderships and how to work with younger campers and develop those skills of teaching and leading. This is an opportunity is open for every session, every week of camp, except for that week of the one-day sessions. They will get assigned a group that they will be with and get to participate in those activities, but also help lead them. We also have our Artful Adventurers, Expedition Outdoors, Wilderness Wanderers, and Science Sleuths. These are 4 new sessions we are offering this year for girls going into 2nd to 6th grade. We'll have different ones during the week. Each week will have a different one of these specialty sessions, and the exact dates for those can also be found in our camp catalog. So next is Camp Toga Woods, which is our sleepaway camp outside of Wasilla. It is for girls going into 2nd through 12th grade. We have a 3-day session, 4-day, 6, and 13-day session happening this summer. Most sessions will be Sunday through Friday. So getting prepared for Camp Toga Woods. A little bit more supplies that you need to bring. So clothes, warm clothes for nights, extra clothes, pajamas, rain gear, swimsuits, sturdy shoes, rain boots or shoes that you're comfortable getting wet in, and also shower shoes. Gear, a backpack or day bag so that when girls are going around, they're able to throw their jacket and water bottle in and carry it with them. A warm sleeping bag, pillow or stuffed animal, towel, shower things, toiletries, sunscreen, bug spray, flashlight, and a reusable water bottle with a closable lid. And then some optional items to bring is like a journal, something to write in, book to read, letter writing supplies, and then maybe a quiet activity for me time. If your camper signs up for a specific wilderness trip, There is specific gear for those trips that will be found in the Wilderness Handbook that will be available early April. If your camper doesn't have any of these supplies for the wilderness trip or the other ones, feel free to reach out and we can see if we can help. And also let them know if they forget anything to let their counselor know we have extras. We are there to help and make sure that your campers is ready to be there and have the best fun that they can. And daily schedule at Toga Woods. We wake up, have breakfast. Then girls do capers. This is actually at all of our camps. It's just at a different time for the other ones. Capers are your camp chores. It is helping make sure camp is clean and ready for everyone to use. And then our campers will do activities, snack, activity, lunch, me time, and then keep on going through dinner. Then they'll have activity and bedtime. Again, these activities will vary based on the program, the age of the camper, and the group's needs. So the first and last day of Toga Woods is a little bit different. There is, on the first day of camp, there is drop-off between 2:30 and 3:30. When you drop off, you will park in the parking lot, check in with a staff member there. They will let you know who your counselors are and where they will meet you. You will then go to the health center for a check-in and screening. Meet your counselors. You'll then head to your counselor's location, meet your counselors, and say goodbye to your parents and guardians. And that's when you'll start making friends and doing all the fun camp activities. On the last day of camp, before pickup, campers will have a group reflection, get camp t-shirts, work on cleaning up camp and packing up their belongings. And then pickup will happen around 4:30. Parents will go to the camper unit, so the same place that they dropped them off. They will sign out their camper, so making sure they bring that ID so that we can verify who is picking them up. Campers will then get to say goodbye to their counselors and all their new friends, and then on their way out, pick up medications from the health center. One question I get asked a lot is about the food at camp. Here we can see some pictures. Starting kind of at the top is our dining hall. And then you can see inside are two pictures of inside of our dining hall. At camp, we will be serving food family style inside for most breakfasts and most dinners are inside family style. And most lunch will be outside picnic style. We do also have a sleep and breakfast where they'll have kind of a picnic style breakfast and also a cookout where they will prepare and cook all of the food for a dinner over a campfire. Food allergies and food restrictions can be accommodated for camp. So allergies of certain types of food or restrictions like vegetarian, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free can be accommodated, but we need to know ahead of time so we can make sure that we are prepared. So making sure that's noted on the health forms, but also reaching out to that camp at Girl Scouts Alaska so we can make sure that we're able to accommodate all of those food needs. Unit areas and where campers are going to be sleeping. We have a lot of different units. Hohokam, Kubla, or Hohokam, Chinook, Dazi, Denali, and Susitna are the main ones that we use. Each unit area has a group of 4 to 6 platform tents. And you can see those tents in that first area. It is a canvas sides, there's hardwood floors. And you can see inside of a tent, there are cots. We'll have 4 to 6 campers per tent. There is a cot with a mattress, and then around it is a bug net. In each unit, one of the tents will be the staff tent, where staff will be sleeping, and the rest will be camper tents. In those tent unit areas, there is a latrine. These are those pit toilets. There are 3 latrines nearby. So in that building, you can see this picture. There's 3, 1 on the other side and 2 on this side, and a cold water spigot. Then there is what's known as the smelly cabin. This is the spot where anything that is scented gets stored. We don't want those scented items inside tents, so all of the toiletries when campers arrive, will get collected in a bin and get stored in what's known as the smelly cabin, and then brought out for any time that a camper needs them. For campers who are there for more than 4 days, they will have opportunity for at least a shower. Our shower does have hot water in it. And they'll have a time to shower and get clean while they're there. We do have a lot of different things that go on at Camp Togo Woods. Our wilderness trips, these are so different age groups starting in middle school. That are there's 1 to 3 nights of either backpacking, canoeing, or both. We also do a 1 day trip of kayaking off camp, and also a day doing a whitewater rafting trip off site. During these trips, girls get to work on courage, confidence, character in that wilderness setting and build those skills, learning how to have minimal campsites and how to stay safe in that wilderness setting. At least one person, one staff member on these trips does have that wilderness first aid certification or higher. And they also do carry a satellite phone with them, or satellite communicator to make sure we are in contact. And again, they will be cooking their own food out there on these trips. And so we can accommodate food needs as long as they are communicated with us ahead of time. There are many water activities that happen out Camp Togo Woods. For all of the 3 day and longer, for all of the sessions, they will have the opportunity to go boating. We have kayaks, canoes, rowboats all out there. And depending on the group and what the group needs, they'll be doing at least one of those boatings. There is also swimming in our bog nearby. And again, everyone is required to wear that life jacket. And then their staff are small craft lifeguard trained and or lifeguard certified. We will also be offering some specialty sessions at Togo Woods this year. We are offering learning to lead, which is like the lead on sessions that we've had in the past. It is for girls going into high school. And it is that opportunity to start those leadership, continuing building. They did the program aid, but can continue to build leaderships, learning how to teach others activities, and be able to share that excitement of camp with the younger campers. There's also lead on take action for those campers who do lead on. They're welcome to do lead on take action, where they continue to develop those skills, working more directly with groups on site. We have a 3-day session. This is great for those girls who are new to sleepaway camp. We're going to be working on the outdoor art badge for our brownies and juniors. So girls going into 2nd through 6th grade. Actually 2nd through 5th grade, the outdoor art badge in that 3-day. And at the same week, we actually will also have a 4-day session for those girls going into middle school and high school, which is build your own camp adventure. When they sign up for camp, they'll have the opportunity to kind of say some of the things they're interested in. And then once they get to camp, they'll actually get the chance to sign up for specific activities at camp and choose the things that they are wanting to do out at camp. We also will have Lake Escape, which is all activities based around water, Artful Explorers, then Outdoor Innovators, which is our all things focused on STEM, and Journey Outdoors, which is that intro to camping. It's for the fourth girls going into 4th and 5th grade, kind of that intro to that wilderness trip. They'll learn a lot of those wilderness skills, learn how to pack a backpack, learn how to put them into a canoe, and then they'll be camping on site outside of their unit somewhere else on camp and cook their own food and do all of that like a wilderness trip just on site at camp. So a great introduction to wilderness trips. So I know that hasn't been a lot of time, but I wanted to make sure there was a lot of time open for questions. So I'm going to leave my page up here for a little bit, but that registration and my contact information. And feel free to put into the chat or raise your hand if you'd rather just ask your question out loud. But we are now available for any questions that you guys have. And if you don't have any questions, I do see we have one. Sarah, if you're welcome to go ahead and take yourself off mic and ask your question.
Sure, thank you. So I registered my daughter for the Art Explorer Badge Camp,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess one of my questions was, I think it's possible that some of the publications or some of the places where it had the date might have been from last year because it looked like one said it went to July 2 and one said it went to July 3. So I was just hoping for clarification on the
Yeah.
exact dates for that.
I will double check places for it, but it's going to be it's be that 3 days starting that Sunday, which I will look up the exact date, before 4th of July, so that outdoor badge camp. I'm gonna look up on the calendar here. Um, so starting July 20th through June 29th through July 1st. Um, is that 3 day, and then the
Okay.
4 day one, which is that build your own camp adventure, will go to the second, so they'll be staying just a little bit longer. And if you noticed where that changes are, if you just let us know and I'll double check them also so we can make sure that no one else has that confusion. Thank you for bringing it up.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tony. Just to follow up, my daughter is also in the 3 day camp. So it's a 3 day, 2 night stay starting
Yes.
June 29th through July 1st. Awesome.
Yes.
And then you mentioned a list of things to bring for um, for the longer staying camps. Is that something that I can find on what is it, Rally Hood? Is that what it's called?
So
For
we
what?
will be posting them there also. At this point, so the parent handbooks will be going on to Rallyhood early April, and that will have
Okay.
all of the detailed packing lists for both the for our we'll have them for our day camp, our general sleepaway camps, and also for the wilderness trips. And it will probably be based on a 6 day camp. So if you are doing a 3 day camp, you probably don't need 6 pairs of everything. And if you're in a 13-day camp, you might need more than 6 pairs.
Makes
But
sense.
that we'll have that detailed list. And we'll also post in Rallyhood when that goes live on our website and stuff. But say mentioning Rallyhood, some of you may not know a lot about it, but it is this platform we are using with Girl Scouts of Alaska to be able to communicate with everyone. It is internal by invitation to it. And that is going to be a great place for parents, caregivers, campers, to be able to get information. It is where we're going to be posting a weekly wrap up about camp, sharing some photos from camp, kind of pre-information, anything like that that we need on Rallyhood. If you have not gotten in Rallyhood yet, if you go to the Girl Scouts Alaska website, up on the top you'll be able to find something that says Rallyhood and to join now for Rallyhood. And if you're having any issues with that, feel free to either contact us at camp at Girl Scouts Alaska or customer care at girlscoutsalaska.org. Yeah,
Awesome.
Sarah, go ahead.
Thanks. I have a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
um, so I, so you said that for the sleepaway camp that there's 4 to 6 campers in the tent,
Hmm.
and so it sounds like there's not a staff member in the tent with them all night.
No, their staff members aren't in that tent with them. They are in a tent right next to them. And one of the things that staff will do when campers are there, kind of when they're first learning it, campers will learn where that staff tent is, how to wake up that staff members, and they are there to be woken up. And that is they work very hard to communicate that with their campers. I know for some campers that's a little bit intimidating, but we really want them to know and feel comfortable to help. That is part of what the counselors are there for. But they're 10 steps away outside of the tent most of the time, from that tent to another within a normal voice shouting, not even a shouting distance, but normal voice level they can
Okay.
hear. Yeah.
And can you kind of describe like what the bedtime routine is? I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you might have touched. Yeah.
yeah. I'll go into a little bit more detail. So, after activities, so staff have a little bit of freedom on those evenings. So after dinner, sometimes we'll have a group activity that everyone at camp is working on. Sometimes we have opening campfire on the first night, closing campfire on that last night. But sometimes it'll just be that group. But depending on the age of that group, um, it might be starting and how tired they are in the week. But staff will start winding them down, having them kind of start calming down. They will help get on their smellies, do teeth brushing, getting into PJs, trips to the bathroom, and then getting into bed. Um, and it tends to be that they will then kind of do quiet time in your tent, talking with your friends, then maybe just flashlight time, and then staff will sit on the steps of the tents and read. This is something we do for a while. It helps with a lot of things, but they will have books that they have selected and will sit on the steps and read to the campers for a while. And hopefully by that point, the camper has fallen asleep. There are staff who are around if there's campers who are homesick or are struggling with anything to kind of help them through those feelings and help them get themselves ready for bed. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that does. That's helpful. Um, and then I had another question. Oh, is there a policy on like electronics, not bringing electronics?
Yes.
And then like what if a camper really needed to talk with their parent, or like how do you make that judgment call?
Yeah, so it's a good question. We are a technology-free camp. Our directors on site at camp have their phone on them 24/7. Um, on Rallyhood, but also in the parent handbook, you will get a phone number to contact in case of emergency. So campers are reachable through the director. If that camper is feeling homesick, a couple of tricks that we use often is first off, parents are welcome to write letters to campers and turn them in at the beginning of camp to their counselors or the director at check-in. And we will give them each day. Often around the end of me time tends to be a good time right before they're starting another fun activity. Just a letter from home. We have a lot of tips in it. We try to avoid talking about how much we miss, like as a parent trying to review, not talking about how much we miss them or can't wait to get home, but talking about it's so exciting. I hope you're having another great day at camp. I can't wait to hear about the fun you are having or the friends that you have made or the challenges you have done. And so kind of really framing it in that positive light of you're really proud of them for being there. So that's one thing that they can do. If at camp they are struggling with homesickness, our staff during staff training we do a lot of examples and stuff of working through trying to get them bedtime tends to be that homesick hour of helping them kind of calm down, get to bed. Campers can also write letters home, and depending on the situation, that director might send a picture to the parents and have them respond back. Depending on that camper, we try not to do phone calls home. We understand that is not our first choice and things like that. And so there is a process that the director and that counselors of that camper will go through first before getting to that point. And it's kind of working. I have found really good success in that letters home and then a parent sending a text message or a picture of another letter back. And the camp fairies can help deliver those communications. And we will also, if you know you're worried about your camper or you just want to know that we'll let you know a way to check in with the director and be like, hey, how's my camper doing? Just wanted to check in on them. And that director can let you know how things are going. Or if things are kind of getting to that point where, hey, we are homesick, we're struggling, we want to work with the parents to make the camp session the best it can be for both the campers, the counselors, and the parents.
Great, thank you. That sounds like a really thoughtful approach, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Bev, could you confirm for me, and I'm sorry if I missed this, I was late to the meeting, which camp, Girl Scout camp, the 3-day art outdoor badge camp is at?
So that is Camp Togowitz, our sleepaway, which is outside of Wasilla.
Okay,
off of the
great.
KGB. And that's our 3-day, second through fifth grade. So
Yeah,
becoming a day's brownie or a junior. And they'll do that level of outdoor art badge.
very exciting. Thanks, Bev.
Yeah. I am going to stick around on here for a while. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to shout them out or put them in the chat. If you don't, feel free to head on out. And I thank you guys for coming, and reach out if any other questions come on up.
I did have one more, Bev. What
Yeah.
day is the sorry, I just haven't actually been able to log into the
Mhm.
Rallyhood. I think I'm just gonna have to do a reset with you guys.
Yeah.
What day is the tour that we can do with the kids? It's sometime in May, right?
Yes. Is it for the both day camp and sleepaway camp, Singing Hills and Togo Woods will have that open house. Both are in May. If you go to our website, you can get the camp catalog, and it will have the open house dates on like page 3 of the camp
Oh,
catalog.
perfect. I'll
I
head there
don't
then.
remember them on the top of my head. I know what we'll have at those is some of our camp staff will be there. Some staff who are not camp staff will be there, and there'll be some activities and also just a chance for campers and parents to kind of get used to the area and see it.
Yeah, they can see where they're sleeping in the smelly
Yeah.
cabin, all that stuff.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Uh, if you guys have any questions, I think it's mostly staff are left here. But if you guys have any questions about staffing, also feel free to ask.